Hello everyone, it's Jackie here again at Lavender Library, and I know it's a little late for the book log update. I know technically I'm supposed to do it every week with half the book and half the other book, but that's not gonna happen anymore. I figured it would have just been a lot easier if I just did an update every 2 weeks, announcing the next book for the book log and just doing a whole summary of the entire book rather than just half the book. It's a little bit less work for me, and I can just really put everything together. That way people don't have to just see one and then see the other. This way it's just a little bit easier. So this is the book log 2 update. This is book 2. This is Dark Witch by Nora Robert. It is inverted because I'm not recording. I'm recording myself on my screen so I can see myself on my phone. But yeah, I'm gonna try and figure out a better method of recording videos, but for now, this is just what it's gonna be. This is what it is. So, Dark Witch. Nora Robert is an author that writes murder mysteries. She writes romance. I personally really love her romance novels. They're very good, and the Dark Witch trilogy is just one of the ones I really enjoy. I also like her McCade, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's McCade. Her McCade books. I believe there's only 2 books in there. But yeah, I would recommend this book if you really into witchy kind of books. Of course, Dark Witch. Hello. But also if you're really into romance and if you're really into a plot. This is not a smut book, but it is a book with some smut. If you don't know what smut is, please search it up. You're gonna be fine. But yeah, and I'm just gonna do a very quick review. I say quick, I'm gonna be here for like 20 minutes, but it's just gonna be a review of what happens in the book. So if you do not want to read or know spoilers about this book, go ahead and click off the video. It's fine. I will be making other videos soon. For now, it's just gonna be my book log updates and summaries of the book and just my thoughts on the book. So if you already read the book or just want to see if this book is in your interest, you're more than happy to stay. I'd be more than happy to. Wow, okay, me and English are not cooperating today. So Dark Witch, I would rate this book a 9 out of 10. It's really good when you really get the vibe of magic versus enemies to lovers. It definitely has the kind of feeling of, how would I say it, first person perspective, because you're following Iona, which is the main character in this book, and as you read the next books, it kind of just continues the story. And I really like it because not only does it give a really good explanation of the magic and how the magic works and how it's affecting the characters in the book, it's just very organized and it makes sense in that universe. So that's one of the things I really like about this. And the second book, one second, I'm gonna go get the second book. Okay, so I'm back. I have the second book here. It is called Shadow Spells. I don't remember the name of the next book, but this whole trilogy is just about the cousins O'Dwyer. I think I said O'Connor earlier, my bad. It's the O'Dwyer trilogy. It starts off with Iona, who after having dreams about a certain doom, and realizing things about her magic, she goes to Ireland and meets up with her cousins Branna and Connor. And the first book mostly talks about Iona and her experience with magic, the sort of like curse that's been going on, the evil witch, the enemy, them having to battle the enemy. And I'm gonna go into more depth in a little bit. I've got my notes here and I'm gonna go more in depth about what really goes on in the book. The second book I've already read. I've read both of these books previously, but I just wanted to introduce a book that is not commonly known in my book club, just in case anybody wants more insight on, okay, like on the author, or you know, they like witchy books but maybe they haven't heard about this one. And these are such good books, honestly. So the first one's about Iona and her battle and her romance and all that stuff, and the second book is about Connor's experience with magic. And Iona just recently in the book, she's just learning about her magic and her power. Connor and Branna have already experienced magic and worked with magic their entire lives. So the second book goes more in depth into him and his love for Mara and his internal battles, internal conflicts. Really good too. Honestly, I feel like after each book, it just keeps getting better. The third book, I have not read the third book, but the third book is about Branna's and Finn's romance. And I believe that's when they're able to kill the evil witch Caban, and I believe that's when Finn's curse is released. I'm not 100% sure because I got both of these books at a Goodwill, and because they're thrifted, I didn't see the third book. These two were together, thankfully. But yeah, so I'm gonna go more in depth into how the story actually progresses and what it's actually about. So let me start. Iona knows of her mysterious power and the history behind it. She feels restless and goes to Ireland to find out more about her magic and her power. While staying at the castle, I think it's Ashford Castle in Ireland, she meets her cousins Branna and Connor, who, like her, hold magic and power. They are descendants of the Dark Witch, who hundreds of years ago was one of the most powerful witches in Ireland, and she was renowned for being a very powerful witch. So she moves in with them and starts learning how to use her power. She finds work at a horsing training ground and meets, I believe this is how you pronounce his name, Boyle? Hold on one second. Let me Google that.
Boyle.
Okay, so I checked and it is Boyle. Okay, let me continue with the summary. So she meets Boyle at the horse training grounds, and he is Connor and Brianna's friend. So Brianna and Connor have this friend group. It's them, Boyle, Finn, and Mara. And they're all friends together, and Iona becomes friends with them. So immediately Iona feels that he is the man she needs in her life. So because of her power and her magic, not sure how it's pronounced, she immediately feels drawn to him. And Boyle does have feelings for her, but he's in that point when he meets her that he doesn't like to mix personal business and like business and personal matters together, and that kind of interferes with their relationship a bit at first. And then she meets Mara, and Mara works there at the horse training ground as well. So Iona learns more about what her powers mean and where they come from. Centuries ago, the Dark Witch was her name. What was her name initially? 1 second, let me think. Or actually, let me check the book. Oh Lord, I can't believe I can't remember her name. Scora, there you go. Okay, so Scora was the Dark Witch. Okay, so Scora was killed by an evil witch named Kaban, which he was probably just as strong as Scora, and he tried to kill her and take her power multiple times, and he succeeded. But before he could completely kill her, Scora gave all her remaining power to her 3 children, who possessed an affinity with a certain animal. So Tegan, the youngest, inherited like some power and abilities from the horse. Iman, the hawk, and Branaha, the hound. Iona starts to make sense of herself, knowing the backstory of where her powers come from and of the dreams and visions she's been seeing. Even though she didn't grow up in a family where power and magic was very prominent, she knew most of knowledge or magic was from her grandmother. So she now understands that a lot of dreams and things she's been seeing come from her past and from Tegan. So Kaban is awakening has been awakening for hundreds and hundreds of years, trying to kill off the Scora's descendants and not succeeding, coming close many times but never succeeding in truly killing them off. And in these dreams, in her visions, he makes an attempt to hurt her and intimidate her, getting her to go back to the United States. And he underestimates her power because she burns the crap out of him many times in her dreams. Alright, so this is the next point I have. So Brenda and Connor teach Iona about magic, protection, and spells. Very important things if they want to finally destroy Kaban, because no matter how much time passes, he's always going to try and want to get more of Scora's power. But he only gets stronger over time. So later, Iona meets Finn, a dear friend of Connor and Branna's, Mara, and Boyle's. Finn is a descendant of Kaban and despises his inherited power. And he is also working towards defeating him and finally getting rid of his curse. Because he was able to have a descendant the curse that was placed on him by Skora a long time ago, or I think it was Tegan or Skora, one of them were able to place a curse on Kaban, but as his blood descendant, Finn is also afflicted with the curse. So Finn and Branna, this is a different point. Sorry. So moving on from Finn's backstory. So Finn and Branna used to have a thing going on, but the awakening of his powers caused mistrust and basically broke them apart. A lot of mixed feelings in there. Kaban wanted to destroy Skora, and even though Finn is not Kaban, he is his blood, and Branna is the blood of Skora. So this is not enemies to lovers. They're not enemies. It's just like that really sucks for them. So Iona is taken to the training grounds, and she gets familiar with her surroundings. She is looking at the horses. She can feel and understand what the horses are feeling and what they are communicating. And there is a horse that Finn brought a day before Iona gets to Ireland, and it's I believe it was like a dark gray horse, and its name was Alastor. They find out that Alastor was the name of Tegan's horse or guide, and immediately everybody knows, or everybody figures out that Alastor is Iona's guide, and each one of the dark witches has one. The horse, the hawk, and the hound, all of them will gather together and are determined to destroy Kaban, but Kaban is determined to kill Iona, so they all kind of have to work together to destroy him. So they meet together, they celebrate, Iona's here, we're gonna destroy him, and Kaban doesn't like this. So all throughout this time, Kaban is slowly, seeing what's going on. He uses a lot of black magic, and even though he almost died when Skora, tried to kill him, it didn't work because I guess he made a pact, demonic things. I'm not sure, but he is made of everything that is bad. So seeing them celebrate and seeing them come together and reunite is just really getting on his nerves. So what he decides to do is leave them a little gift on their doorstep, which is a pile of dead rats. It was a pile of dead rats. Yes. Lovely. And none of them are super concerned when they find it, but they are a bit worried that he's able to get so close to their house and their home. So Brandon, Connor, and Iona all live together, and they find that, and they are worried about Iona's safety, considering she's working, she's going, and Kaban is getting dangerously close to them and to her. So they decide, okay, we need to get stronger. Iona needs to get stronger. She's only been here for a week, and these things are happening already. That's crazy. So they continue working on strengthening their powers, and Iona and Boyle could work into their relationship. So they're finding out, hey, this seems to be working. I really am attracted to you, and yeah, they kiss, they get together, they spend the night together, and as they sleep, somehow Kaban manages to attack both of them in their dreams. So because of magic, they can do things like teleport, astral project, in a way go into other dimensions and times and see the past. So in one of these, Kaban draws both of them, I guess because them being together, and you know, since they have a strong connection, they both are drawn into Kaban's dream. And Iona and Boyle are confronted with this reality of, hey, he can come and attack you while you're sleeping. So they fight him. Iona, she is panicked by this. This is very dangerous, not only for her but for Boyle, who she loves. She does not want to have him get hurt because of this magic situation that's been going on for decades and decades. So they both end up fighting. Iona burns him again. She is one with fire, and Boyle gets hurt, but he manages to land a really good punch on him. Iona, she uses her healing magic and, you know, lets everyone know, hey, Kaban now has entered my dream and he is able to hurt us. Now, all of them are much more cautious now. They hang up their charms, they do their spells, they try and get some protection, not only for her but for everybody else, because Kaban is getting much stronger, but she is still much stronger than him. So there was a lot of misconceptions and miscommunication within Iona and Boyle, so the relationship kind of takes a bit of a, okay, let's chill, let's not get into this right now, we need to end him, and then afterwards we can figure shit out. So they're only friends at this point. And you know, Iona really loved her family, her friends, you know, she's like, let's not break this apart, we cannot be doing this right now. And I commend her because of that, because I probably would not be able to do the same. He really hurts her with a lot of things he says, but she loves him and he loves her too, he just doesn't know it yet. And because of this, you know, I describe her as a very bubbly and optimistic person. She's very charismatic. There you go. That's what I wanted to say. She's a very charismatic person, and I feel like if she were an actual person, I'd really want to be her friend. She's very strong too. She speaks her mind, and overall, Nora Robert does a really good job creating her character and making her character come to life. Okay, next point. So Brenda and Connor work on a plan to defeat Kaban. As the two most familiar with their magic and with Skora's spells, they choose a day with the longest daylight, and that day is the summer solstice. I don't know much about the summer solstice and haven't really researched that, but it's the longest day of the year, so that's good. They talk to Finn, and since Finn is his blood, they trust him to draw Kaban out and put him in a trap. A trap where the Dark Witches will capture him, and Boyle and Mara will act like as a support. Even though they do not possess magic, they possess a lot of heart and determination, and that is very, very important during this time. So the summer solstice is in June, and Iona has been with them for a couple months now, and the time is very slowly approaching. Okay, I didn't take any more notes because I wanted to be a bit more authentic with what happens next in the story. So, knowing what they know is gonna happen and not being sure if they will make it out alive, because that is a reality. Kaban is much stronger now that he has conjured up whatever darkness he has been able to. They need to come up with a strategy which will, you know, give them the advantage. So they decide to go to Skora's house, their house, Tegan, where Tegan, Branaha and Iman lived. And it is a very dark place where it can be good, but Kaban is stronger in that place because of it. But that also means that because they are Score's blood, Connor, Brana, and Iona are also much stronger. So they decide that Iona will go to this place, and it is a place in between time. So because there's so much magic in that place, they are not sure how their spells will react, but both Brad and Connor have come up with a spell that will work and will hopefully end Kaban and his dark magic forever. Iona goes, and she is confronted immediately with Kaban. They have a plan. She does her spell, she lights her candles, she does everything. And the main goal was to set the trap. Unfortunately, Kaban does manage to hurt her pretty badly, and Alistair too. She's with her guide. But just in the nick of time, Iona completes the magic circle, and everybody else is able to come in and unite. And Boyle manages to land a pretty good hit on him. Mira traps him. Finn and Connor are able to push him back away, and Brana is able to start the spell. So the spell that they're using is very interesting. They're combining light, and they are, oh my god, I don't think I've even given this book justice. Okay, I had a little bit of technical problems there. Okay, but we're good. So the spell that you do is very strong. It's very powerful. It manages to extremely hurt Kaban and burn him. So they collect some of his ashes, collect some of his blood, but they figured out that Kaban is still alive. He is not done yet because Finn's curse hasn't been released. And they can just feel it. They know he's still alive somewhere. But, you know, they collect his blood, they collect his ashes. They will use everything they can against him, and hopefully they are able to. And that's what happens in the second book. If one day I do put this as a book log and make a summary review about it, I'm going to go more in depth on the second book. But yeah, they head back, they treat their wounds. Iona and Boyle get the worst of it, but thankfully they are fine. No one dies. I would have cried so much if they die, but they don't die. They're all good. They celebrate, and at the very end of the book, oh my god, Boyle proposes to Iona in the most hilarious, unconventional way. He proposes to her, and it's so cute. It's very wholesome. I really love this book because of its wholesomeness. And of course Iona said yes. You know, not only did you like help almost kill our decade-long, centuries-long arch nemesis, but like you literally protected me when we were fighting against him. So she says yes. Heck, I think she would have proposed if he hadn't. But yeah, that's the book. If you really like it, go ahead and check it out. Nora Roberts she has written so many amazing books, and I don't see anybody talking about them. So yeah, Nora Roberts, Dark Witch trilogy. Second book, if you'd like to hear more about the second book, I can go ahead and put it in the book log in the future. Just let me know, anybody who's watching. I'm still pretty small. I've only uploaded a few videos, but yeah, The next video I'm gonna make will probably come out tomorrow. It's gonna be organizing and cleaning this over here. This bookshelf is not clean. It's not good, and I also need to reorganize this desk. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Okay, one more thing I almost forgot. The next book in the book log, this is book 3, Wolf Song. It's one of the books that I've seen going around Bookstagram for a little bit. I am usually looking for books and taking notes of books on Bookstagram. So this is one of the good ones that I've heard recommend. It's more like LGBTQ. So yeah, this is the next one. Stay tuned for updates on this book at the end of the month, because I should be done with it by the end of the month. You might see it early August, but keep up to date and check the description below for the book log. It is on Google Docs. You can see it, access it, and see any of the past book logs and reviews. So thank you, and now I'll see you next video.